everybody. This is like a bit of a PR really for Plymouth Fenns, Thomas there, Plymouth Fenns. He asked a question in one of his videos. He says, Kit, you know what I mean, when does it become too much? You know, and what about the things that you could leave behind, or you would have to leave behind, because you wouldn't be able to take everything with you, right? And I know some of you are interested, and I do appreciate the interest in a sad old git like me, right? About the hospital wise. Brilliant. Yesterday I was meant to go for the, you know, you get pre-op checks when you get your ECG and that, make sure you're alright again under the knife, right? I get there, right? It's been cancelled, right? The appointment was cancelled. I'm not going to bitch on about it. You know, it's the National Health Service, so I'm not mourning, right? At all. But I got a letter this morning. Dear Mr. X-Ray Sulu, due to your jaw-dropping good looks, unfortunately we had to cancel your appointment yesterday. I'm only joking. Got this morning, mind you, and I went yesterday. Actually turned up yesterday. I'm writing to tell you that unfortunately we have had the need to cancel your appointment with it's a miss, right? So I don't see doctors, I see misters and misses, right? On Tuesday. Your next appointment's going to be on the 28th of the 2nd with a Mr. You don't need to know who it is, right? I just thought that was class. I just thought that was class. So that's that. Right. Kit, when does it get too much? Now, I've dragged a few of my little tools out just to give you some sort of eye candy to look at, you know what I mean, rather than, like I say, stare at my ugly mug. While I come up with my view on Kit, when does it get too much, right? Now, I did say in his comments, you know, how long's a bit of string, right? Just how long's a bit of string, right? String in a tin. This is jute twine, natural jute twine. I buy it in these tins because it is handy to take out. Not only that, the tins can become handy afterwards. 2-in-1 use, well 3-in-1 use, multiple uses really, because it's Burnley string. Yeah, it's Burnley string. So, now this is just me, right? I frequently buy 2 of everything, if not 3, right? There's a reason why I do that. I mean, come on to that, but I think most of you suss out why I'll buy 2 or 3 things, right? You know, I've been playing with a beginner's kit just recently. I would like to say, like, you know, like things on feather seam rods and things like that. Buy 2 feather seam rods, right? And just use one to buggery. Just use it to get used to, like, anyway. I go through the larger knives and then, because I've got a bag down here, so I'll stuff them in, right? And what I'll do is I'll draw each blade as it comes out, right? Kit. When does it become too much, right? Well, I could never carry the amount of kit I've got. If I was to box it all up, like in the 2 houses, if I was to box it all up, I'd need an Arctic, you know, like a moving van to take it all with me, right? Now, I've learned throughout my years that I'm not the most sentimental person to begin with, right? So if I was to lose everything, I've lost everything. I just have to start again. And trust me, I have lost bits of kit, a lot of kit in my time, one way or another. Your kit, the way I see kit, it's just a constant constantly evolving. What a shite knife this is. That's just got everything on the knife that I don't like. Serrations, So it's just crap. Anyway, constantly evolving your kit, right? Doesn't mean to say, like I said before, doesn't mean to say that you're buying stuff that's a bit more expensive, because it doesn't really work that way. It's a copy. It's not your tool knife. It's just a copy. You're gonna know when your kit's too much in your bag, because you just won't be able to stand up and walk down the street with it, right? And I've mentioned before my theory about big heavy bags. Yes, I have them. Could I carry them? Not very far at all. It would take, if people started getting rounded up, I wouldn't go, right. I would take it to my toes, but it would take an awful lot for us to bug out, an awful lot. It's not quite a knife, but it's what they call a hoary. Kit's a never-ending thing, you know. I think I'm obsessed with it. Obsessed with kits. Like I said, I could never use all these knives all at one go. You know, I just couldn't do it. I couldn't use them more than 1 year. Right? And although I think they're an essential bit of kit, of which they are, I'm not a big fan of seeing people with big fuck off knives strapped to the sides, but there's definitely a place for a larger tool. Especially in this country, the laws are just criminal. See, this year, right, I got this a while ago, and I mean a while ago, a couple of years ago. It was less than 20 quid. Handy Hands are knocking these out. They call it the Evolve. That's the one with the hollow handle, so you can get a little bit of kit inside there. And they're not a bad knife, actually, as it happens. It's not a bad little knife. It's about the right size and all. You know, and he also mentioned, one of the points that he said was about leaving kit behind. I was in the line of work when I was younger, for a while, and the rule of thumb there was never wear a suit that you wouldn't be sick down or have somebody else be sick down it, if you get my drift, right? And that means, like, you know, don't go playing out with anything that's sentimental to you, because if you did lose that sentimental bit of kit, right, you might be inclined to jump back and get it. You could put yourself in jeopardy and other people, and it'll play on your mind, you know what I mean? So, but it's not the shovel, it's definitely not the shovel, it's the man behind it that makes that shovel work, in my point of view. People like knives, don't they? People like knives. So, I think it's a chisel knife. Got these chisel knives on the idea that could be an alternative British carry. Doesn't matter what make you are, does it? Look, I mean, it's endless. I haven't bought a fixed blade knife in a while, actually, so I'm due another one. This knife here, right, it's a British make. It was expensive for me, for a knife. It was expensive. Never could use it. Look, it's too small in my hand. So once you get a good basic kit, right, you'll know what you know what you want to use. You should base your kit on that, on the basics, right? And just look up the 5 C's of survivability for your basics. That pretty much covers it. Shelter and water, really. When it comes down to the nitty gritty, you can last a while without food. It's not nice, mind you, going without food. But every now and again, I still purge myself. But it's not nice. But it can be done. So basically, it's temperature control and hydration. They're the two ones that will kill you the quickest, or want me to go downhill the quickest. You know, if you're in extremes of climate, if you can't get no cover or shelter, or like basically warmth, right, you'll go downhill drastically. If you've got nothing to drink, you won't last long at all. So it also depends on where you're going, doesn't it? You know, I think what's the word now? The sort of the N word, is it mission specific, isn't it? So you would take Butterford's knives, man, less than £6. Good little things they are. They're a good knife. That's the Baco Reckon knife. They're good knives, they are. It all depends where you go frequently, and what you're planning on doing. But I never stop buying kit. Never stop it. Cheap as you like. So when is it? First, what I would suggest is that I thought I had two of them. First of all, I'll suggest that try not to get too sentimental about any bit of kit. If you're sentimental about a bit of kit, don't take it out if you think you're gonna lose it. And keep within the realms of your budget. You know. I'm thinking about changing to this knife. This is one of those. It's a Schrade. SCHF 36. It's about the right size for me for the knife. You know, like all-in-one knife. And I'm not a big fan of battling knives at all. There's other things to do, but these knives are designed to take a whacking. So I'll be sporting that soon. Over. If I'm playing Cowboys and Indians, I've showed you this before. This is what I take: Forester, little sharpener, big feather seam rod, natural fat wood, the blade itself, paracord, little skinning knife type thing on the back. And out of still more to come. Out of all of them, that's what I carry all the time. Little Butterford's craft knife, heavy duty craft knife. Got a slightly rubberized handle, orangey bits so I don't lose it. Nice plastic sheath, and feather seam rod, hastily strapped to the front there. And showed you that, didn't I? Put that there. Got a few of these knocking about. I think there's one in the car kit. Very bright, you know what I mean? So you don't lose it. Nice big handle. So my point on another Mora's knives are nice. But you see this kind here, just a little bit too small for my hand. To, you know. I've got big hands, big lad. Butterford's chisel knife. I'll see it a bit later today. So, kit, when is it? There's another chisel knife. They're quite good anyway, chisel knives. tell you the truth. Well, there you go, look. It's another one of those little Miltech. Cheap as you like knife. When does kit get too much, you know? I'm not a big believer in carrying great big heavy bags. Right? I don't see any need in it. But if you're talking about kit on the whole, well, first of all, it's just more than me that I've got to think about, right? There's a few of us, right? There's a few of us locally, right? And nationally, there's loads of us. So this used to be my little digging about knife, you know, like putting your coat pocket. It's been quite a good little knife, this. I've had this for a long time. That's the Anglo Arms outdoor pursuit knife, I think they call it. But extended use, I get little dicks in there, you know what I mean? But nice little knife. It's been a good little knife for the price. A Bowie. That's not a knife. That's a knife. A Bowie knife. Actually, jokes aside, right, I'd take that instead of my Glock. And I would, because that stands up to it. Blade's a bit bright, but so just want to talk about this quickly, right? This is called a compact machete. This has been a good little knife, right? About 10 inches long. But what I like about it is the look of it. It's like a no-style big butcher's knife, innit? That's the kind of knife that the frontierers would sort of take, like a butcher's knife, you know? That's a good tool, that is. Shelter building. So I don't think you can ever have enough kit. That's just me, right? But like I say, you've got to just... Oh, it's getting full now. You just got to keep within your budget. Keep within your means. Again, for the seam rod, bit of plastic, bit of tape, cover the plastic. What are they, the Casbars, are they? Can't remember what they're called, but they're good little knives. They're good knives, more knives, and them Eldris, they're good knives. So good I bought it twice. Again, look, not all my knives are tactical, combat. You drop your knife, you can't find it, you're fucked. Right? Sorry for language, but you're just... This one here is the most recent thing I've bought, right? I got the wrong size. It's the up-to-date version of them, right? But it's like a small sword, isn't it? I mean, look at that. Which one's this? This is the CHF 52. I should have got the smaller one. But... Ooh, did you hear that there? Didn't make the sound of that. Never mind. That's the most recent one I bought, and like I say, I'm not a big fan of big knives, but there's definitely a place and time and place for having a big knife. It's the sidekick. It's like a smaller version of the work champ, of which I've got. The work champs are good for the seam rod and a little ceramic, Victorinox ceramic stone. So I'll carry that in there. say, that's the latest edition. Will I be buying another fixed blade knife soon? Probably. I've got a couple of these ignite knives and all, right, but see, we had that on there. See, found these up the other day. Just a little strap-on pouch. Elasticated grab on the front. Just happens you can get a Wolverine saw or Laplander saw, so which way you like. In there, there's room for a pocket knife, like a locking knife. Put one of those sharpeners in there, and you could either put a knife on the back and use that as a little grab tool kit, or your knife on your front or inside or whatever, you saw on the outside. Just keeps all your tools all in one. So I might be sporting that soon. So out of all those big bag of knives, right, and I've got more, right, that's just that I've got more. When it all boils down to it, I pretty much always take this one with me, right, pretty much always. Like I say, if I'm going out and I want to start playing, you know, that's my little setup I take, and that's all in one there. I've got that's a Forester, got a locking knife, right. I know locking knives are illegal in the UK, right, but you see, my point of view is, if you start using a bigger blade knife, folding knife, you've got more chances of cutting your own fingers off, right? And I think we've all had it happen where the knife's folded over, you know, so, and I know fixed blades aren't allowed either, but if I'm out in the middle of a wood with permission from the landowner, it's not a lot they can say, is that, because I'm using it as part of my lifestyle pastime. I don't think any rod's complete without a ferrocerium rod. Any knife is complete without a ferrocerium rod. I think it just goes together like ham and cheese sandwiches, you know, just hand in hand. So that's the out of all of them, it's generally something like that, lightweight, cheap. I'd not be devastated if I lost it. I was given this just recently, right? I'd be more upset if I lost that than all of those knives put together. Do you know what I mean? And like I say, I'm not the most sentimental person in the world. It means a little bit more to me than that does. I'm not being disrespectful, but like I say, I wouldn't lose sleep overnight if I'd lost it, right? I'll try to find it, but showed you that. And I'm thinking about keeping that for like the Cowboys and Indians playing out, and then for serious bushcrafting work, I think that's just about the perfect size, perfect weight. You know, it's a quarter of an inch thick there, you know, so, and it's been designed to be whacked about. Still not that I wouldn't do it, but so that's what I'm thinking on. So just go through this and, you know, just give you something to look at, give you my point of view. I don't think you can ever have enough kit, but that's just me. I'm a kit tart. Yeah. Oh, it's my hands on the grip. It's my hands making that noise. The smaller version of that's probably what I'll buy next, I think. I don't know. But if you buy sensible kit to begin with, right, and again, I won't be the only one to say it to you, not that it is, but just for instance, just say it was a 300, 200 pound knife, right, doesn't make it any better than a £2.99 knife, right? If that's the only knife that you've got, your best bit of kit is the bit of kit that you've got at that time, right? That's the way it works, and you go with what you've got. And I wouldn't buy a knife for 200 quid, 300 quid. It's just me. I just don't think any knife is worth that much, considering it's a tool. That's all it is. And I'm not sentimental about many things. So I think if you buy, in the beginning, if you spend the money on the important things, like your cover elements, getting your water sorted out, right, and cutting cordage and combustion, right. If you put in the extra savings on those, get yourself something half decent. Again, you know, repeating myself, but it doesn't have to be anything extravagant, right? As long as it's adequate to do the job, right, and you know how to use it, there's no reason why it shouldn't get you by. Years old, bit dirty, bit gunky, but it's never let me down. Never let me down. Easy to sharpen. I just checked the price on these, right? For instance, for one of those, you can get half a dozen of them. So, I think if you're beginning to start off with, put your money into the things, the important things, right? Which is, like I say, if you look at the 5 C's of sustainability, that's what you should be investing your money in to begin with, and then everything else is just peripheral, isn't it? You know what I mean? I'm a great believer that you don't really need a 120 litre rucksack to get yourself out for 2 or 3 days. 50 litres would do you. More than adequate. More than adequate. The sleeping system is worth investing in. You know, get a good something, keep you warm, keep you dry, because a good night's sleep can be very underrated. You know, it's called sleep deprivation, right? And it doesn't take long for you to get all disorientated and a bit mixed up with 2 or 3 days lack of proper sleep. So that's my thing on kit. When is it too much? How long's a bit of string? You know, you just keep evolving. Just find what you're comfortable with. Get a good little standard set together. Like I say, make sure that you're warm and dry. Make sure that you can drink. Maybe something to eat, some cutting tools, something to tie everything together. Something to start a fire, or your heat system, you know, your elements, something to start a stove. That could be something as simple as cigarette lighter or an all-in-one bow drill kit, you know what I mean? It's up to you, it's what you feel comfortable with, right? Physically feeling comfortable with the weight, psychologically feeling comfortable with, you know, in your mindset, and what you're comfortable with in your hands using, the physical comfort of actually using the kit itself, you know. You know, I'm not saying it just for the sake of saying it. I could possibly save me pennies up, go to Hang Your Hands and buy one of those knives at £500–600. Get a car for that. Or do I pay £5.99, get something like that, which I know is more than adequate for what I'm going to need in the UK, you know. There's something else, we shouldn't get mixed up on a few levels, right? We're not packing with kit to go out and start rebuilding society, or we're going off to war. We're not doing that. And Great Britain is a damn sight smaller than America, right? So try not to get confused. If I was living in America, right, I would be wanting a kit that lasts me more than 3 days, right? Because you could be miles away from anybody, right? Whereas in the UK, even if you're lost, if you stand still long enough, somebody will walk past you, you know. So it's horses for courses. Get some knowledge before you do anything. Get half clued up on what's what, especially the laws, because you could go, right, I've got that in my bag or whatever, you could go to your local playing fields or something, end up with a criminal record, right, or worse, you could end up in prison, right, and the knock-on effect from that is it'll stop you, it'll hamper you in future needs. So keep within the law, right, keep within your limitations, keep it down to comfort, whether that be physical comfort on using the kit that you've got or being able to carry the kit, the psychological comfort in buying stuff that you know that you like using and you're happy with using, and the limitations on your budget and your wallet, right? But a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. I hope that helps you about a bit, Tom, and everybody else. Just my idea on kit. When does it get too much? I wouldn't be worried too toughly about leaving all this kit behind. You know, if it comes down to me surviving, I mean, that's ultimately what it's down to. You've got two choices in life. You can either be a victim or you can be a survivor. It's your choice. It's your choice, right? No, I'm no victim of any circumstances. So that's the way I think. But just try to remember that we live in a comparatively small country to some of these big, massive channels of America and all that. America's a ginormous. That's why we lost it back in the day, you know, the War of Independence, because we didn't actually realise the size of one of the reasons, ginormous continent, right? You know, you could go for months and not see anybody, where in Great Britain, you're lucky not to just to find a council estate or something, or housing estate knocking up everywhere, right? Oh, that jogs my memory just on that. You know, say that I plot stuff up, cash stuff up. But there's a fire kit, right? The fire kit's been together 2 or 3 years now. The wife, she told me, she said, look, they're starting to build somewhere down where she knows I've dropped some stuff off, right? So I had to go down and get it, right? Because the building, I don't think it's houses they're building. I think it might be houses, mind you. But it looks like a mini complex. I'm not quite sure. It could be a health centre or something, right? Well, that's just it. So I've had to go and pick up. That's just it was just full of smells of rotten leaves. You know, the rotten mulch smell. Quite like that smell. So I've had to go and pick stuff up like that. So there's something else also. If you've got a bug out location or a hideaway location sorted out, plot stuff up there. Plot your heavy kit up there. And again, like I say, pointless being sentimental, because somebody could come across it and nick it, you know what I mean? Or, you know what some people are like. So that's just, hope that helps you, Tom. That's just the way I think about kit. Give you something something a bit better to look at rather than my chisel looks. Great that, innit? Yeah? Turn up for an appointment. Get there the next day.